Hello and welcome to this edition of Culture Mosaic. October the 10th this year marks the 1010th anniversary of the old capital city Thăng Long, Hanoi, and the 66th anniversary of the capital's Liberation Day. To celebrate this day, our Culture Mosaic this week will feature different themes related to Hanoi. From the photography perspective, our culture and lifestyle will bring you a black and white look into Hanoi decades ago through photos of famous photographers. Moving on to architecture, we will talk to a French architect and find out why the heritage of Hanoi has inspired him so much. And moving on to cuisine, we'll get to know a famous dish of Hanoi, bún chả, but with an East meets West twist to create an interesting fusion, bún chả burger. So sit back and enjoy the show for the next 30 minutes. A black and white look into Hanoi decades ago through photos of famous photographers. Let's talk to a French architect to understand more about his love for Hanoi and his heritage. East meets West fusion of the famous bún chả Hanoi, bún chả burger, has graced Hanoi's local food map. A photo exhibition featuring images of Hanoi taken by world-famous German photographer Thomas Bierhardt is being held at the Manzi Exhibition Space and Manzi Art Space in Hanoi. Consisting of 130 black and white and color photos taken during Bierhardt's 6 trips to Vietnam, the exhibition presents viewers an honest documentary of Hanoi from 1967 to 1975 with an unfiltered view into the daily activities of local people. The exhibition is scheduled to last until November the 15th. The 11th European Vietnamese Documentary Film Festival was held in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City from October the 1st to the 10th as part of the EU National Institutes for Culture, or UNIC's agenda, and a highlight of its journey of cooperation with Vietnam in the field of film production. Co-organized by UNIC and the National Documentary and Scientific Film Studio of Vietnam, the festival aimed to improve cooperation and cultural exchanges between EU member countries and Vietnam, and for the Vietnamese audience to learn about foreign countries, peoples, and cultures through film. The festival brought together documentaries from 11 countries. This year, Vietnam sent 12 documentary films to the festival, of which 10 are produced by Central Documentary and Scientific Films, and another 2 by independent filmmakers. Viettel Fastest 2020, a charity run, was held in Hanoi on October the 4th with the aim of raising funds for children suffering from heart disease. As many as 1,000 professional, semi-professional, and amateur athletes took part in the event. Participants had to compete in a 10-kilometer run around pedestrian streets in the capital. The run was co-organized by the Viettel Telecom Corporation in association with the Vietnamese Heart Fund of the Vietnam Television. Nearly $19.5 thousand raised at the event was sent to the Vietnamese Heart Fund, which provides surgeries for disadvantaged children suffering congenital heart defects. After more than half a month of competing in Đắk Lắk, Thanh Hóa, Vĩnh Phúc, Hanoi, and Ho Chi Minh City, the National Musical Instruments Competition for soloists and groups finally awarded the best performers. The closing and award ceremony took place on Monday at the Vietnam Chiao Theater. In addition to the first, second, and third prizes, the Arts Council also awarded additional prizes such as Excellent Musician, Excellent Composer, and Star of Hope to honor artists who have made efforts to create unique performances and to honor promising young artists. The famous French historical novel Les Miserables by Victor Hugo will hit Vietnamese stages for the first time on November the 21st to the 22nd, with the Hanoi Opera House hosting the show's national debut. According to the theater, the opera will be held with the aim of calling for solidarity among people worldwide in order to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, therefore showcasing the nation's efforts to overcome the challenges of this difficult period. The cast will comprise of both foreign and local actors and actresses, along with famous native opera artists such as Đào Tố Loan, Huy Đức, Trần Trang Sao Mai, and Bùi Trang. Vietnam top singer Mỹ Tâm recently made a comeback with her latest song titled Đúng Cũng Thành Sai or Right Can Be Wrong. The song is considered a gift from the singer to her fans after a long break due to the impact of COVID-19 and personal reasons. Đúng Cũng Thành Sai is a soft ballad that showcases her soothing vocal that can easily touch a listener's heart. After a week, the MV reached over 11 million views, ranking third in the top trending videos of YouTube Vietnam. When a camera was a rarity in Vietnam, veterans in the Hanoi photographer's circle, such as Võ An Ninh, Nguyễn Duy Kiên, Nguyễn Cao Đàm, Đỗ Huân, and Lê Vượng, took up photography as a hobby. They also took photos as a way to record their memoirs about lands that they felt attached to, including Hanoi. Hanoi scenery and its people became their source of inspiration despite many ups and downs of the country. Through the photos of Hanoi they left behind, the capital city was seen as a romantic place with beautiful scenery. The city was also captured when it was devastated after grueling fights with the enemy. But no matter how the city looked like, black and white pictures of Hanoi won the hearts of all generations. On the occasion of the 66th anniversary of the capital city's Liberation Day, let's go back in time to enjoy everlasting moments of Hanoi in the past through the lens of some famous Vietnamese photographers.
Hà Nội mùa thu, cây cam nguội vàng, cây bàng lá đỏ, nằm kề bên nhau, phố xưa nhà cổ, mái ngói thơm nở.
Những ngày này thì tôi rất là nhớ bố mình, nghệ sĩ nhiếp ảnh Đỗ Huân như mọi người thường gọi. Mùa thu thì kỷ niệm của tôi với ông là rõ nét nhất, bởi vì là bao giờ cũng được ông dắt đi quanh hồ để đi chơi thôi, chỉ cho tôi cái hương sắc của mùa thu Hà Nội. Ông luôn luôn nói với lại những người con là Hà Nội đẹp lắm. Hà Nội đẹp từng góc phố, từng gốc cây, từng cái mặt hồ. Cái vẻ đẹp của Hồ Tây, của Hồ Trúc Bạch, của Hồ Gươm đều được ông đưa vào ảnh. Bởi vì ông thường nói là không phải thủ đô nào cũng có nhiều cái mặt hồ đẹp như thế đâu. Ông thường chụp những cảnh rất là bình dị, nên thơ của Hà Nội. Những cảnh nó như những bức tranh tĩnh vật, nó là vẻ đẹp thiên nhiên và những cái khoảng lặng của cuộc sống.
Old-type roofed of houses in the ancient quarter, tall ancient trees lined up on street, and light rainfall all make street look more beautiful. Through the lens of photographer Đỗ Huân, Hanoi is depicted with quiet beauty, delivering a sense of solemnity and reminding people of their beautiful memories.
Hà Nội ngày đấy thanh bình lắm. Và khi đấy thì người ta thường là đi xe đạp rất là thong dong, đường phố thì vắng vẻ, cây cối thì rậm rạp hơn bây giờ. Hầu như không có xe ô tô mấy, chỉ có tiếng tàu điện leng keng thôi. Buổi sáng, buổi chiều thì cái âm thanh mà bọn trẻ con thích nhất là tiếng leng keng của tàu điện. Nó vui tai lắm.
When French colonists took controls of Hanoi, photographer Đỗ Huân captured many precious moments. One of his most well-known photos is titled Tearing Up the Enemy's Slogan and was taken in 1949. During the Resistance War against America, one day he took a romantic photo titled A Couple of Friends in a Fight when he saw two members of militia and self-defense forces cycling on a street towards the battlefield. In his photograph, he rarely conveyed the severity of war, but still showcased the patriotism and heroic fighting spirit that was always embedded in every Vietnamese citizen at that time.
Lúc đấy Hà Nội đầy những hầm trú ẩn, người ta rất ngạc nhiên. Tại sao lại có những bức ảnh nghệ thuật mà lại có thấp thoáng cái bóng hầm trú ẩn? Ông đã có cái bức ảnh chụp hầm trú ẩn ấn tượng. Tôi nghĩ rằng là người nghệ sĩ khi mà đã yêu nghệ thuật, yêu cuộc sống thì luôn luôn nhìn ra cái đẹp trong bất cứ hoàn cảnh nào.
Each photos assert the vision of the person who takes it. Through the scenes depicted in each photo, other people can see things through the same eyes as the artist. This is why photography is sometimes referred to as the art of watching life. Through Đỗ Huân's photograph, the history of Hanoi is told in a gentle way. Meanwhile, photographer Nguyễn Duy Kiên has a more journalistic quality to his photograph. The beauty of Hanoi in 1940 to 1960 was depicted by Kiên in two ways, as tragedy and as an epic.
Những dấu tích trong 60 ngày đêm khói lửa mở màn cho cuộc tổng quốc kháng chiến ở Hà Nội. Thì cô lại đi chụp cái tổ đó. Cô hệ thống đồng mà chụp rất là kỹ. Riêng ảnh cụ thì như là bức tranh mặc dù đổ nát. Cái đẹp đây là cái bi tráng của nó. Đến cái ngày về của quân chiến thắng năm 54, rồi sau này cụ Hồ về mùng 1 tháng 1 năm 55. Ngày xưa nó rất là hay, xem cảm động lắm. Các cô mặc áo tứ thân đi meeting ôm cả lúa thật. Mỗi cô ôm bó lúa đi đại diện cho nông dân. Nguyễn Kiên đã phản ánh một cái chân dung Hà Nội của một giai đoạn lịch sử nhất định mà ông ta đã đi qua với một cái tình cảm lớn.
Kien's photographs are not only about Hanoi in the winter of 1946 and the victory of autumn 1954, but also highlight the elegance and qualities of Chang'an people, as well as the beauty of ancient relics. There's also the serene visions of the beauty of flowers and foliage that was dear to the frugal life of a man who loved natural beauty and yearned for a better life. 66 years after Hanoi was liberated from the French, Hanoi now looks more vivid in colored photograph, but the black and white photos of the capital city from decades ago still lives on. In addition to their aesthetic value, the historical significance of the photos taken by such experienced photographers as Nguyễn Duy Kiên and Đỗ Huân have contributed to the capital city's photographic heritage and have become valuable historical resources. The photographs have made the individual's memory part of the memories of the whole community.
To talk about heritage in Hanoi, what will you think of? Temple of Literature or Hoàn Kiếm Lake? As for the French architect Emmanuel Sergis, the heritage of Hanoi that needs to preserve is a special lifestyle associated with a collective area. Architect Emmanuel was born and raised in Paris, but devoted his love and career to preserving the heritage in Hanoi. Let's meet with this special architect in this week's On the Mic subsection.
Walking on the streets of Hanoi, everyone seems to view this place as a living body, with a vibrant rhythm of life and rich emotions. And architect Emmanuel Sergis is no exception. Emmanuel Sergis is Ile-de-France region's representative in Hanoi, director of Paris Region Expertise in Vietnam or PRX Vietnam since 2012. With a love for ancient values and vibrant life in Hanoi, he has advised and supported many heritage projects for this city, such as Project on Temple of Literature for better tourism service quality, Project on Hoàn Kiếm Lake for greener and cleaner area, and the project on preserving area near Con Cóc Park.
First of all, thank you for joining in our show today. And what we have here is the regulation for preservation of heritage of the Con Cóc Park, or as known as Diên Hồng Park. So it's one of your projects. Why did you choose to renovate this place instead of other?
Con Cóc Park, we can say that it's a part of France in Hanoi. Cultural background is Vietnamese, but there is also some buildings design made by the French during the French time, And then after the French time, the Vietnamese still live there, use this area, and it works very well. I mean, every evening there is people playing badminton, playing balls, or footballs, or something like that. So it means that the people enjoy this area, and I think that because of this interesting design mixed between the French culture, the French urban culture, plus the Vietnamese background, we keep all the historical things, for example, the fontaine, but to organize maybe the floor, to use some materials very suitable for that place. For the vegetation also, the point is to use some trees, some plants that is very relevant for Vietnam climate, for Hanoi climate. It's a very specific climate. To have a very little needs in terms of maintenance.
After living in Hanoi for many years, besides the iconic sites, what is the interesting things of Hanoi?
In fact, for me, as you say, it's more than 20 years the first time I came to Hanoi. I was very surprised at that time. It's how Hanoians live in the city, and especially in the housing, especially in the Khu Thap Thé. I visit a lot of Khu Thap Thé. I wrote a lot of articles about Khu Thap Thé. There is kids, there is older people, there is shops, restaurants, bars, a lot of activities, social activities, a playground, something like that. And so it means is life, and it's very nice for that.
From what I know, you did your doctoral thesis on housing in Hanoi, and you also co-organized an exhibition about the collective space in Hanoi, or as known as Khu Tập Thể. So can you share a little bit about your view on this place?
There is a lot of positive aspect of the Khu Thap Thé. Most of the people live there are quite happy to live there. The location of the Khu Thap Thé is very nice. The density is not so high. There is trees. And now the trees is quite high. They are very astonished to find this social life inside this area. There is an open space, a cafe, so it's no motorbikes, no cars, so it's quite quiet place. And in fact, it's very nice to live there. For me, it's a part of heritage of Hanoi also, to keep some Khu Thap Thé, because it is a part of history of Hanoi.
After first arriving in Hanoi in 1997, when he was still a student, architect Emmanuel fell in love with Hanoi from the very first moment. With his love for the architecture and lifestyle of Hanoi, the architect has returned here many times to do his graduation project and his doctoral thesis on housing in Hanoi. He has also written books on architecture in Hanoi and Vietnam.
Tôi biết ông là còn là sinh viên. Ông Emmanuel này là một kiến trúc sư, cho nên là ông ấy sang đây với một cái nhiệm vụ là bảo tồn, phát triển những cái công trình kiến trúc cũ của Pháp. Ông biết rất kỹ thành phố Hà Nội. Ông Emmanuel này có một cái nhiệt tình rất là lạ lùng, là cái việc gì mà liên quan đến kiến trúc, liên quan đến bảo tồn, liên quan đến đào tạo là ông không có nề hà gì cả. Cụ thể như là đối với trường chúng tôi thì ông Emmanuel rất có công ở cái chỗ là thế này. Ông ấy cùng với tôi biên soạn những tài liệu, cuốn sổ từ các cái thành ngữ cho lớp Pháp mà tôi thành lập.
For this architect, the most appropriate time to enjoy this city is when exploring and taking pictures of the streets with his son. It's also a way to spread his love for Hanoi to his little son.
I usually take a photo with my dad when on vacation, when I have free time. We go around where sometimes my dad don't know and my mother don't know. I feel happy, yeah, because so I know more and more of Hanoi.
So let's talk a little bit about yourself. Why did you choose to come to Hanoi in 1997 for your internship instead of other cities?
In fact, the very first time I came to Hanoi in 1997, it was I didn't really choose the first time. It was an internship. When I came here, I fall in love with this city. I mean, it's why after that I decided to use Hanoi as my study, the area I studied for my graduation as an architect, and then I continue studying Hanoi for my PhD research. The very first impression for me in Hanoi is that a lot of things is possible. It's mainly because of the population. Contact with the population is very strong and very easy, and the population of Hanoi is willing to do something for the city also.
What made you come back here to Hanoi after that and decided to live and work here for a long term?
In here, life is everywhere and is more strong. I mean, the feeling of life is stronger. Hanoi have a strong identity, even the structure of Hanoi, I mean, is existing for a long time. The citadel of Hanoi, the streets of Hanoi, the river, the lakes, etc. So there is a strong structure and a strong identity, but inside this structure, everything can move. So is like a living body, and it's true for other Asian cities. But Hanoi is very specific because it's a mix with this strong structure because of the history, because it's an old city, and the movement, the dynamic movement of the city. I appreciate that because it's you feel alive inside this kind of city.
Once again, thank you for your time, and I wish you more success in the future.
Thank you.
Bún chả is a very popular Vietnamese dish. In fact, it's among one of the most recommended local dishes to foreign visitors to Hanoi. On the other side, burger is one of the most popular Western food to spread around the world thanks to globalization. What do you think would become of when these two meet? Yes, you've got the answer. It's bún chả burger, a new fusion dish that has recently graced Hanoi's local food map. What's the story behind this fusion recipe? Let's visit its birthplace, a little Hanoi eatery, to learn more in this week's Connecting Cultures.
What do you get when you combine Vietnamese bún chả with American burger?
Bún chả có cái sự kết hợp giữa cái vị ngọt một chút này, mặn một chút trong nước chấm, thịt thì khá là mềm và thơm, và bên cạnh đó là cái rau, cái dưa góp cũng là một cái mà tạo nên cái độ tươi mới và cái độ rất là dễ ăn. Sau đó thì có giao lưu với rất nhiều các bạn bè người nước ngoài, và các bạn ấy thì đặc biệt là đi tới đâu thì mình cũng thấy là các bạn rất là thích burger, nên bảo là burger và bún chả có gì có thể tương đương không, vì bản thân trong suy nghĩ của mình lúc bấy giờ là mình rất muốn mang một cái gì đó cái trong cái văn hóa của Việt Nam mình có thể kết hợp với nước ngoài, với văn hóa của nước ngoài, mà ẩm thực thì có lẽ là con đường tốt nhất.
And that's how the recipe for bún chả burger took forms, all thanks to a woman's passion for cooking and her penchant for creating new recipes. First, fresh pork is marinated in a mixture of sauces and spices in the same way people would prepare the meat for bún chả. Then, pickles and assorted vegetables are mixed together, the same way bún chả side pickles are prepared. Next is the special ingredient, pan-fried dried vermicelli. After that, the meat is put on the grill along with the buns, then the cheese. Last but not least, everything is put together in a typical gourmet burger presentation. And voila!
Cái cảm nhận của mình khi mà mình ăn các cái món burger ở nước ngoài ấy, thì cảm thấy là nó có thể đối với người Việt Nam mình thì là hơi quá, và ăn xong thì cũng hơi mệt. Bún chả là một cái mà có lẽ là một cái khởi điểm rất là đúng đắn của mình khi mình chọn cái món này. Thứ nhất là trong bún chả có hai cái thành phần chính mà mọi người thường hay đưa vào, ngoài việc là nêm nếm, mắm, muối, hạt tiêu ra, thì cái gia vị nữa đấy là tỏi và hành khô. Khi mà bạn đưa vào trong cái nêm nếm với cả cái thịt ý, nó sẽ giúp rất nhiều trong cái việc là tiêu hóa, đặc biệt là tỏi. Mọi người đều thích những cái vị như là vị giòn, ăn cái gì giòn giòn là mình cảm thấy thích rồi, nghe đến giòn giòn là mình đã cảm thấy là phấn khởi và mình cảm thấy là muốn tìm hiểu và muốn thưởng thức rồi. Nếu mà mọi người ăn cái bún chả burger thì các bạn sẽ ngay từ khi cầm cái burger lên đã thấy cái vị giòn đấy rồi, tức là nghe thấy cái âm thanh rồi, và cái đấy nó là từ cái bún đấy nó phải được làm giòn. Bún chả thường thường là ví dụ người Việt Nam mình thì rất là thích, nhưng mà với khách nước ngoài ấy, thì họ ăn bún thì nó nhiều khi là nó quá nhiều và họ không phải là họ thích cái bún tươi nhiều lắm. Thế mình bảo hãy làm thay đổi cái đấy, và nếu bún tươi đưa vào trong burger thì cái vị nó sẽ không hoàn hảo được, và riêng cái chuyện làm cho cái bún đấy nó có thể giòn được thì nó cũng mất phải khoảng độ tầm 4 tháng để cho mình có thể hoàn thiện được.
Though recently introduced, Bún Chả Burger has become quite a hit with local diners, both expats and Vietnamese.
I like the fact that it's a burger without ketchup and mustard, but it tastes like the burger I know from home. At the same time, it's like Asian and Western all together. She's got these crispy noodles in there that are nice, and it all comes together to be a great flavor.
Đây là lần đầu tiên mình đến đây ấy, thì mình thấy món ăn ở đây là kết hợp giữa nguyên liệu Việt Nam và phong cách nấu của châu Âu, thì mình thấy rất là thích. Nếu như mà ai đấy muốn tìm những món ăn mà có một sự lạ kết hợp giữa Việt Nam và các nước khác thì đây là một nơi mình thấy là khá thú vị.
For Thanh, cooking has become more than a job, and a restaurant is no longer just a workplace. It has become a place for making new friends, sharing and connecting people from all walks of life through one single thread, the love of food.
Mình đi từ việc là chỉ là một cái người thích chia sẻ những món ăn mình thích và nấu những món ăn mình muốn dành cho những người gần gũi mình như là gia đình hoặc là bạn bè, và sau đó thì bây giờ có cơ hội để trải lòng mình thêm với những người mà mình chưa bao giờ gặp, chưa bao giờ quen biết cả. Bún chả burger nó không phải chỉ như là một cái món ăn nữa, mà mình muốn ở trong đấy nó là cái thông điệp. Bún chả là một món rất là bình dân nhưng nó lại rất là ngon. Nó cũng giống như người Việt Nam mình ấy, cũng bình thường, cũng giản dị thôi, nhưng mà lại rất là chân thành. Và mình muốn làm cái nhịp cầu để có thể đưa món Việt ra nước ngoài theo cái khái niệm khác đi, phóng khoáng hơn, cởi mở hơn và không bị gò bó.
And that is the end of our program. If you'd like to catch us online, go to vtvgo.vn or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/vtv4go for more of our program. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Goodbye for now.